now, without further ado, I'd actually like to open the floor to Andrew to tell us more about the other people that have helped and a little bit of the story of the blue whale. Andrew.
Well, it's been a long journey. For me, it starts back 3 years ago when I met the architects and cooked up this idea of what could be bigger than life that might draw attention here to the museum. And we proposed, why don't we just get a blue whale? And of course, that sounds fairly simple. It turned out to be 3 years of blood, sweat, and tears, ultimately. And I couldn't be prouder today to see what has been done. The whale behind me is as much a story about the specimen and the uniqueness of blue whales as it is about the people from across Canada that come together to make this a possibility. I spent 5 months calling everywhere, everyone I knew around the planet that might, by chance, have a blue whale. And as it turned out, I was in Ottawa in May of 2007, invited to review their new Arctic exhibit, and of course I cracked a joke with the curator saying, you don't happen to have an extra blue whale lying around, do you? And from that, I was given the phone number of the head curator, Roger Baird, who we'll be speaking with later on direct from Ottawa. And he, in fact, told me this incredible story that they had, in fact, buried a whale in Prince Edward Island in 1987. But unfortunately for them, it was too big and too heavy for the museum in Ottawa. But from that, a few more lucky phone calls, a little bit of negotiating with the government, and lo and behold, we had the rights to go get it. My first phone call was to Dr. Pierre Doust, called Clear the Blue. He was a pathologist who, on his first day on the job in 1987, had to figure out what to do with this large blue whale, why it died. He's here today with us. We're very glad he came to join us. The second person we were very fortunate to meet was at the kitchen door of her home in Tignish, the conservation officer, Sandra Keogh, who kept a map for 20 years showing where this whale had been buried. And she led us right to the spot. She too has come with us here today to see the whale. As you hear later on, today a team of us from BC made 2 trips to Prince Edward Island to bring back what was in the end 1,000 broken pieces of the foulest smelling, rotting bones anyone has ever tried to recover. These bones had spent 1.5 years undergoing a major spa treatment in Victoria before the artists and sculptors joined the scientists to do their magic and heal these broken bones that nature and time had inflicted upon them. From there, the welders and structure engineers worked as these major sections were put together until we had that wonderful day when the blue whale made her last trip to sea, courtesy of BC Ferries and the trucking company that brought her here, and literally it felt like a 4th of July parade coming down here on the boulevard. 2 huge trucks, lights flashing. I think that was my happiest moment. And from there, I guess I could say as I watched Mike and Michi and Jesse and the whole team put the whale up, I realized at that point the blue whale took over my life. And it's just been phenomenal watching every day from my window here as people are coming from all over the province to come in and look through and share the same amazement that we, the biologists, have. So just to wrap up here, on behalf of UBC, I'd like to thank and acknowledge the National Museum of Nature, the people and government of PEI, and the city and people of Victoria. I'd also like to acknowledge the many people who contributed to funding the Blue Whale Project and recognize the important kind gifts from CN, WestJet, Ellis Recycle, the UBC Hospital, the Michael Smith Labs, the Vancouver Aquarium, BC Ferries, and many, many others. And last but not least, I want to thank and acknowledge the Blue Whale team, starting first and foremost with Mike DeRoos and Michi Ming, Jesse Macbeth, Bob and Brenda DeRoos, and over 100 other people who work with us to make what you see today possible. So to all of you, I say thank you. I'd like now to call upon Dr. Kamal Kiedis, the Chief Collection Manager for the Vertebrate Collection from the Canadian Museum of Nature in Ottawa.
First, I'd like to thank the UBC and especially Andrew for inviting me to be here with you today at this ceremony. I'm very glad to be here indeed, representing the Canadian Museum of Nature in Ottawa. As Simon and Andrew said, I'm the Chief Collection Manager for vertebrates. So I know a lot about the blue whale you have behind me as well. When more than 20 years ago, our crew, when they have been actually informed that there was a blue whale that was washed ashore in PEI, so they jumped into there just to see this specimen. And they immediately realized how valuable it is. And then we have decided to keep it. And then we have decided to bury it, just to let the natural elements do this dirty business of cleaning the whole carcass. Now, today, more than 20 years later, we are here, and we see now this project completely done, fully mounted, and now displayed here. It was not a simple job, to be honest with you. And as Andrew was saying, we do have another blue whale. And then we have said, should we keep this blue whale here in Ottawa? Or we can probably try to find another spot where he can, sleep. And then obviously, yeah, that's true. I mean, keeping a blue whale is not easy, for space issues. The one we have in Ottawa is taking a huge spot in our collection. So saying maybe having a second one would be quite a challenge. And then we said, okay, what should we do? And obviously, a connection had been made with Andrew, and we were very happy to see that the UBC could take it. I must acknowledge something. We have been in contact during the whole years where this blue whale has been prepared. And I will tell you something now that I see the blue whale, how impressed I am before this wonderful specimen. Probably someone just, common, citizen, a common person would say, okay, that's a blue whale, it's a skeleton. First of all, let's say it's the hugest animal that has ever existed on Earth. And you can imagine a dinosaur would feel ashamed or would feel just a bit little, before this huge creature. And we are fortunate as humans, we are living right now while a huge specimen is living with us. We should do a lot to keep them, conserved and forever. It's not easy at all to prepare that specimen. And as I said, we've been talking to each other, not just because we were supervising the work, no, just we wanted to keep updated how well this specimen is prepared. It's impressive how clean it is, how professionally articulated it is. Challenges. There were several challenges to bring it over to here. First of all, coast to coast, a huge animal that will join, the UBC in Vancouver. It's not in Ottawa, in Midway, it's Vancouver. So you can imagine the distance with this huge specimen. How impressed we are with your fundraising as well. It takes lots of money to do this job. How impressed we are with the volunteers you have mobilized. It was huge, and it was really a good example of success in having volunteers, preparing this specimen. Anyway, today also, it's the grand opening of the Canadian Museum of Nature, downtown Ottawa, May 22nd. Just because of the time zone, we can say we have unveiled the first blue whale, sorry to say that, that has ever been displayed in Canada, but it's small. It's just 20 meters, it's just 65 feet, whereas here we have a giant 85 feet. I'm joking. I'm joking, but it's not a good game I am playing, because let's say, Canadian Museum of Nature, the UBC, Beaty, Biodiversity Center, we are a member of the same family, which is the Alliance of Natural History of Canada. So the blue whale is in Canada, is in Tinggish, is in Vancouver, is in Montreal, is in Toronto, is in Iqaluit, it's everywhere in Calgary, it's in Canada, it's within the Alliance of Natural History Museum of Canada. And we are very pleased now today to see, and I will testimony, and I will tell people how was the job you did. And we are very happy, I can say the Canadian Museum of Nature is very happy to see that this blue whale now has found a very good home for eternity. And again, as I said, today is the opening of the Canadian Museum of Nature building, public building downtown Ottawa, and there is the other blue whale that is sitting there, and it's unveiled today as well. Thank you very much for the great job.